I'm just waiting for you guys. Go ahead, go.
Whatever you'll
It's like, wait. To make this.
Wait, we need dice for this.
Alright, go.
No. Why do I feel like our son is gonna... Stop. Nope. Stop it, Barbarian. You're not supposed to be in this.
Okay, I don't want arms broken. Okay, that's enough. I can see arms snapping. Well, hey guys, welcome. This is the Night Watch. Wow. Night Watch team, Sunday Night crew.
Mostly Sunday Night crew.
Most of us are here. Hey, we got together tonight because there was something that I really wanted to talk about, something that's kind of come up, and that's going to be role-playing characters. Role-playing characters is kind of a big thing right now. It's not just like playing a class, for example, but it's actually playing the character you build, going in your background. I know Jade and we had talked about this a little bit earlier today. But I kind of wanted to get everybody's kind of take on what you feel like, what's more important to you as players. For example, is the storytelling more important, or is the role-playing more important? So, Mason, we'll start with you. What do you think?
Gotta have a good mix of both. Gotta play one off the other and enjoy it the whole time.
Okay, so, but is the story more important that you're living per se, or is it how you play it as your character?
It's how you play the story. Any story is a good one if your character is if you play your character right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For AgCore, for example.
Yeah.
The thing about AgCore, I know you play you play your character. You know, when you sit down, you know, you get that rough, grumbly voice. You know, it's like exactly, you know, and it's like you role play very well. But for you, for example, do you like a good story, or would you rather just have your character, or could you plug your character into any story and role play?
Yeah, I think I would believe that roleplay is a lot more important, just simply because whenever you have someone and you have your character that you spend a lot of time and effort to create, however, you are living through a story, and that story can change at any time based on the actions of someone else, or your character as well. Like I had, like my first character, my paladin, he turned Oathbreaker. Yeah, Gilneas the paladin.
Hello.
Turned Oathbreaker because of these two chuckleheads. But it didn't really change the story, but it was a very enjoyable experience because I got to feel how my character went from point A and all the way ending to point B out of Z.
Okay, but did you find it hard to roleplay your character at any time during that?
Absolutely, yes. It's very, very hard not to break character, especially if, for example, like, it's really hard not to break character when you, as a player, are sitting at the table in a room 3 buildings over, and then 3 buildings over from where you are, one of your friends dies. It's really hard not to break character at that point, but it's something that is absolutely critical.
I know that when Ketchup died, when we were playing Lost Mines of Phandelver, Ketchup, Mason's first character, Ketchup died. I know that the room went dead silent.
Oh yeah.
And me as a DM, when I looked around the room, everybody was just in shock. I mean, I saw the look on everybody's face, and then all of a sudden, it's like one by one, people started talking. I think Carla was like one of the first ones to say something. And then I think it was like Gilneas was like right after that. Like it was just kind of like one after another. Like, oh, what just happened? Oh, I rush over, and I'm trying to save Ketchup that he had already died.
Yeah.
And so watching you role play that aspect was really cool because that was the first time I actually saw everybody at the table show compassion in role play. A lot of times, you can kind of role play compassion. Oh, I'm so sorry. Y'all were actually like almost in tears.
I was in tears.
I was in tears. I know that Gilneas and Gore
We were the only two
You
away.
were the only two that actually had a chance to save him. You tried once.
Yeah, I was the
And-
last medicine check
and
on him.
failed the medicine check on him, and then he died on the next roll.
Yeah. 'Cause
Because you as your barbarian, you played your barbarian exactly the way, and we've talked about this until we were blue in the face.
Yeah.
That your character played it right. Everybody was down, so your character was charging in there. Your character was going to do everything possible to just bash and destroy and kill. Mainly because you were enraged at that point.
Yep. I mean,
Also,
I had to play that part right as a barbarian. The way my character was written up in his backstory, he was gonna fight for the fallen until he dies.
yeah.
And Ketchup went down. I had no time to cry. I had no time to shed a tear. I had to finish the fight. When I was done with the fight, then my character was sad.
Yeah. Well, you know, and I know that one tack and one sec. I know that y'all had, you especially had kind of a connection with Ketchup going into that.
I
So
mean,
Yeah.
it was. We had just finished a giant beer competition, just chugging away.
That's true. That happened right after
Oh,
a
that
drinking
did?
contest.
Yes, it did.
Oh,
30 seconds
that's
later.
true.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Oh man.
Oh.
so
But I
It
guess
happens.
to
That's
fully
not-
answer the question,
Yeah.
I believe that believable and firmly role-played characters makes for a good story.
okay. So if your DM or GM, for example, walks in, has a decent story, you can still role play inside that story. Then.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, if you have a bad story or a bad DM, is it harder to roleplay? What about over here?
I believe if it's really the characters and the people that are role playing that truly drive the story versus how the story is written, because a character can change a story at a drop of a hat.
Right, but you really kind of have to have a good story, don't you?
I actually believe I'm correct. I agree with him because without at least a decent story, you can't really get into your character. You don't really feel motivated to actually role play your character. If it's just a very simplistic thing, or
Yeah.
it's just not being told in a very believable way.
Right, but I still believe that in certain situations, if the story is subpar or not quite what you wanted it to be, you could find ways to change it and make it more interesting by role-playing it certain ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of like what
All
the
right.
Gilneas thing.
We're going to go around about one by one, just briefly. What is role-playing to you?
It's you get to be your character and you get to be someone else for a little while. Someone who's vastly more interesting than you are.
Amen.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just shedding off who you are. Like, whenever I play Adcore, I'm not Jackson. I am Adcore. I act and think and talk like Adcore. So that's just kind of how I feel role-playing should be, is just kind of breaking away from what you are and melting into someone else entirely.
I believe role playing is it's a little bit of you in the character. You're actually playing it out. How you feel in that situation, but as the character you made.
I see role-playing as similar to you, but it's a personification of a small part of you. It's a small part, kind of like if you have some part of greed in you, you build a character that's very greedy and you overplay that.
See, I'm kind of leaning towards both y'all's ways, but I feel like role-playing is a chance to take a part of yourself that no one gets to see and just throw it out there. You don't overplay it or anything else. You can just get everybody able to see who you are, just how you feel that when no one else is around.
Don't you normally play a rogue that steals from
Well,
Yes, I do.
What about for you? What do you...
okay, you know, as a DM, when I'm looking at role-playing, I love to see the characters or I love to see the character, or the players. I love to see a player just totally immerse themselves into their character. How would that character feel in any circumstance? Would that character really want to steal that, or is he just playing the rogue, or would he really rush in as the barbarian, or would the barbarian sit there for just a second and go, I don't think it's a smart idea, you know, type deal, you know, because not all barbarians rush into battle. Some of them are actually going to go, how strong is he? Oh, not strong? Oh, bash, you know, and then rushes in. A cleric, for example, a cleric may role play his or her character to where they don't do any battle at all, They just want to stand back until somebody gets hurt, and as soon as somebody gets hurt, boom, they rush in, lay hands on, heal, cure wounds, back off. But then again, you might have a cleric who's like shield in one hand and mace in the other, and boom, boom,
That's
bash,
tragic.
bash, you know?
Battle cleric with
But
no
it's like,
strength.
but
Well, totally forgetting the rebuke spells.
But-
Why?
But when it comes to role play, I like to see the decision making. That's what I like to see. I like to see players making decisions based on what their characters would do, not what their class would do or not what they would do. Like for example, if Agkor gets hit, Agkor is going to get pissed, and Agkor is going to turn around, and Agkor is going to bash somebody.
Yep.
Okay. But then again, on the other hand, for like Gore could care less. As soon as somebody in the party gets hit, he's going after whoever hit somebody in the party. So there's a difference between the two of you, and it's how you role play it differently. That's what I look for as a DM.
Okay.
You know, it's like I can sit there and I can run a pre-mod all day long, and I can run it 15 different times, and I get 15 different outcomes based upon how people play, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people to make decisions. Now the thing about it is I see way too often, and this is one of the things that kind of gets under my skin as a DM. When it comes to role playing, characters who just kind of role play their class. Okay, I'm a barbarian. I'm just gonna roar, bash, 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 roar. I'm a paladin. I always go for the good guy. And okay, I'm a rogue. I steal everything. Well, that's okay. But the thing about it is, though, is the fact that it's not every time that circumstance comes up. So what I look for in role-playing is not just role-playing a class, but actually role-playing the character.
Yeah. Like
I agree.
yeah, like especially since Agkor is kind of the unofficial leader of the Dragon Queen thing.
No, it's official.
Okay.
No, it's official.
I'm pretty sure that they have decided you are the official leader.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
Follow the barbarian.
Well, even in
Same
even
thing
in that
happened in Lost
case,
Mines.
Yeah,
Barbarian
yeah.
became the leader.
Yep.
yeah, even in that case, there are a few moments where, like with the camp run, there were some moments where he was extremely out of his element. He's a barbarian. He hits things with an axe. He's not good at sneaking, so he let the rogue and the ranger take a major part of that.
Bad idea.
Bad idea on the rogue, but the ranger.
I'll tell you,
Right.
one of my favorite things that I've seen so far is Eldritch and Blast. I'll tell you, Eldritch and Blast, y'all roleplay your characters very well. Y'all play off of each other. The rock, paper, scissors thing is just freaking awesome. I love it. The rock, paper, scissors.
When you injure
I
each
did
other's
one
hands.
last night. For the first time out of 4 tries.
I think role playing is very important. There was actually a question that was brought up online, and it said, "What is the difference between D&D role playing versus any other tabletop game?" Okay, we'll start over here. It's like there are a bunch of games out there. Zombies, Zombie Dice. There's a bunch of games out there to where you can play a sheriff, or you can play a wizard, or you can play all these different characters, right? Firefly board game, for example, let's just say.
Great game.
I'm not mentioning anything.
Not the Monopoly that you always lose, but the other Firefly.
No, I'm not saying mentioning Firefly.
But-
Hit again.
But however, it's like you can play all these different characters, but you don't really have to immerse yourself. You know, it's like you can talk like Jane, or you can talk like Mal, or you can talk like a wizard, or you can act like a wizard, but you don't really have to immerse yourself. What makes D&D so much more special?
I think it's the fact that you have personality traits, you have bonds, you have flaws that you can actually create your character around. You can actually get yourself involved in characters. Most other games, you play, like you said, you play a class. You play what they are. You don't really, you do little voices here and there, but you don't actually get involved. And you don't go through a giant, long campaign, months at a time. You develop feelings with the character that you play. So
Okay.
I'll always miss my drunken character.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's really, truly, for, say, a game like Diablo. You're sitting there, you're doing this one basic quest, and that's all you can really do. Where in D&D, that could change because of something you chose in your background. Like, say you have a family member that died, and trying to avenge them is what's driving you on your quest. And you figure out that they are a big villain, or this big driving force of the plot. And all of a sudden, that changes your character so much right there, and that changes the story from that point.
Okay.
I'm gonna use me and Michael for example. In Fandel, we play together.
Oh, yeah.
While everybody else was trying to do the main mission, we would take off and do the side missions.
Oh, yes.
Knock things out, have a little fun.
To be fair, I never really tried to do the main
No, 'cause
mission.
you
I
kept
wandered into it by accident.
No, you kept being almost put in jail.
Yeah.
True.
If you gotta play in D&D, you get to play your character how you really want to. You get to do little things that other games don't allow you to.
Oh, yeah.
You'll surprise yourself. You'll find something that you like, and you'll like follow that and try to do that. Other games you don't get to, and that's the big thing about D&D characters.
Okay, Jackson.
That, and I also feel like D&D, whenever you create your person, you're creating a set piece that is completely customizable to you. Customizable backstory,
Oh, yeah.
you get to choose a class, you get to choose kind of how you want to play your character. It's not like a game like X-Wing where you have an X-Wing. It can only do so many things, and then you really don't roleplay. You really don't roleplay an X-Wing fight. Like you kind of
That is true.
just
You
go
strap
in.
yourself into the cockpit. Yeah, okay. I do a 4K turn. You
This is
know,
why
it's
you
like-
play Edge of the Empire, Age of Rebellion.
Okay, all right.
I
Okay.
looked at it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But it's something like it's a very, very high amount of customizable options for this character, just in terms of the type of words that you would use when you're describing this character. It's not like I'm the car from Monopoly. It's I'm Gilneas the Paladin. I'm Adkor the Barbarian. I'm Vigyal the Monk. It's different things like that.
Voice.
Because that's
Okay,
his voice.
That's it. Yeah.
Mason?
I think the thing that really sets D&D apart is you get to add all the subtle personality things to your character. And it's like, oh, I'm just this barbarian. No, I'm this guy. I have this skewed version of morals. And I have a long past that I constantly try to escape.
Yeah.
Did not escape.
Yeah.
K-Back screwed him over. And everyone else around him.
If any of you want to watch Horde of the Dragon Queen Night Watch Game Sunday Night Crew, you'll find out exactly what he's talking about inside the game.
Inside joke.
In other words, he's going to be
Yeah, but I think
Interesting.
we all see that role playing. It's a little bit different to all of us, and it's never. I don't think it's the same to every single person. You know, if you say role playing to one person, that they're probably going to give you a different answer than somebody else, and I think that's okay, because role playing to everybody is different, and everybody has different levels of role play that they're willing to do or they're able to do. You know, it's like that there are some DMs. Not saying any names, Matt Mercer, but that just he can come up with a character on the fly with a voice and his actions and his facial expressions, and it's like just awesome. Okay, and you know there are some. No, the best one is the gunpowder. Gunpowder merchant's best, but however.
That's this many fingers.
Yeah, Matt, forgive me, sorry. But, you know, it's like it's one of those things that, you know, I think role playing is I think the main reason people like playing D&D right now is it is an escape from their life. They can come in, they can play a character for 3 or 4 hours that has nothing to do with going to the office, that doesn't have anything to do with going to work or going to school or anything else. It's that they can kind of lose themselves in the fantasy world of D&D, and I think that's very important.
And then you die.
That's when you build a new guy.
Okay, one last
Am I
question.
still the only one to have that experience?
One last question that came up, and then we're going to wrap this up. But here's the last question. I'm trying to think exactly the way it was worded. Excuse me if I get this wrong. But starting over with every campaign, would you rather run one character over at level 1 or create a new character for every campaign? Like
If
for
I had to
example,
lose my,
for example, Ketchup. You know, let's say you got Ketchup up to level 10 in a campaign.
I'm not running
Would you-
anyone who's not level 10 again. Then I might as well just start a new character.
Okay.
Have a new person, have new experiences, and get to be someone else.
Okay.
It depends on how much I like playing that character.
So Gilneas, for example, let's say you get Gilneas up to level 10, but then we start a new campaign. Would you want to start Gilneas over at level 1 for that new campaign? Or would you rather just create a brand new character?
It depends, because if I restart the character, then I might be starving myself of some different options that I could find very much enjoyable. Like I just restart again as a paladin when I could find a lot of enjoyment in being a rogue. But I don't know. I think it would honestly depend on every character and how much I like their personality and how they interact with people, or if I just want to try something completely different and new. So, I would say it's a character-by-character basis.
Okay.
For me, it's Gore. I love Gore. I love Gore
Yep.
to death.
Oh,
That's
yes.
my Sandelian character.
Oh, yes.
He's a big part of who I am, but getting to play in his one shot right now, I did something that I made a character that I'm normally would never play.
What was that?
A gnome rogue who thinks he's a drow.
That's right! That's right! That was so fun.
Well, not anymore.
I get to have a lot of fun with that. I mean, I don't have to be the serious character. I don't got to be the leader. I mean, next campaign, I'll get to do something else, and I'll be happy about doing that. It's for me, bringing out different personalities and being a new character every time. It's a whole lot more fun than being the same character constantly.
Okay, cool.
For me, I do like the idea of coming back to 1, but I would want it to have something kind of like a reincarnation. I remember things from my past. It's like I have this new body, but if I was to do that, like if I had a character die, then I would say bring it back to 1 as a reincarnation. But if it was just a brand new campaign that and all my characters are still ongoing, still have arcs to complete, build a completely new one. Have fun with it.
Okay.
See, I'm probably going to be different here. I would constantly play one set. Unless I was playing multiple campaigns. Only
One
because
sec is...
One sec is my
just for
drow
them?
monk.
Okay.
It started off evil, started leaning towards good and helping everybody else, then went completely evil again. But it's
That's kind of
It was a roller coaster ride.
It was kind of my fault.
As a DM, let me tell you, 1 sec as a DM was a roller coaster. I'll say that just,
I missed
okay,
some.
sorry, keep
One
going.
sec, one sec.
yeah. The one reason I was continue playing is once I got invested into him, which is about 2 sessions in,
That's all it really takes.
the party makeup around me, I would love to see how each reaction to certain things, because he changed because of several things the party did. It had nothing to do with his own will or anything else. I just want to see how the personality would change from section to section to section, and just see how.
So you would keep 1 sec, but take him back to level 1 and redo him over.
Yeah.
Like,
I start
just
with the same
starting level 1.
Yeah, so go with level 1. Start with the same personality
Right.
you started with, and
Mhm.
see how the party changes him.
Cool. All right. Well, you know, as a DM, I've actually been thinking a lot about this question, and the thing about this is the fact that as a DM, I love seeing a change. I love seeing different characters come across the table and come into the campaigns. But on the other hand, as a DM, you do get invested in the characters. Okay, it's like, you know, Ketchup, Gilneas, you know, Poppy, Falcone, Gord, One sec.
Okay,
I can name everybody off the last campaign. The reason for that is because I, as a DM, became invested in the characters along with you. Okay, so it's not like I just kind of sat back telling the story and letting you kind of lead the story. Y'all never went where I wanted y'all to go anyway. It really didn't matter. It really didn't matter. After about the second session, I didn't have anything prepped when I walked in on a weekly basis. Yeah, I don't know if y'all can tell. Could y'all tell?
No, no.
Nope.
You could?
It could have just been my inexperience, but I didn't
No,
tell.
because it's like I had no clue where you had run it. You had actually run it before, hadn't you? Or
I
you had-
started to
Yeah,
play
you
kids
started
and
to.
then I stopped.
Yep. But the thing about it is the reason that I stopped preparing so much is the fact that if I wanted y'all to go to Wyvern Tor, y'all would go to Thunder Tree. If I wanted y'all to go to Thunder Tree, y'all were going to Cragmaw Castle. If I wanted y'all to go to Cragmaw Castle, y'all were staying in Fandalen for a week. So it didn't really make a difference.
And if you didn't want us to go to prison,
We went to prison. If it wasn't for Gore, y'all would have gone to prison then.
One talk help
first
as well.
session.
But you know, I think it's important for all the new character or for all the new players that are out there watching this video and who are building their first characters for the first time. Just keep in mind that role playing is not talking like your character. You don't have to have funny voices. You know, some people have their deep rumbling voice. You know,
For every character.
it's the same with him. And then you have one tack over here and one sec who just kind of, you know, oh, I'm holier than thou, so that's fine.
It's not holier than thou. I am better than thou. If you
No.
don't,
We all
shoot
know
you in the
not
face
holy.
again.
And for those of you,
you,
we'll be sharing some backstory about one tack and one sec later. But they
Yeah.
are married now. This is a warrior. This is a monk. A drow monk
Criminal.
and a high elf warlock. That fell madly,
Whoa!
one of them fell madly in
That
love.
is the insane part.
Yeah.
I didn't fall in love until the very end. Come on.
And so they're now married.
Yeah,
But
two
however,
kids, very nice.
they
Where'd
did
they
have
go?
2 kids. The kids are a chip off the old block.
Oh yes.
Eldritch
they
and
go?
Blast. Eldritch and Blast.
Eldritch and Blast are actually the kids to 1 second, 1 tack.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
Last is still my favorite.
But I just want to say thank you to all of our viewers out there that are watching our videos. This is awesome that y'all are actually watching. Just real quick, we're going to go around the table. I know we probably should have done this first. But however,
Introductions.
we're going to go around, do a quick introduction, just a name and character name. Your name and then your character's name.
My name is Mason, and I play Tamora Smith.
Jackson Agcor. There are 3 R's.
Lupa and I play Eldritch.
I am Jade, and most of the time I will play one tack.
I'm Frank and I play Blast.
And most of you know me as DM Kevin. I play the DM.
Wow.
Which is a very vital character. I mean player.
I tried to
It's the
define.
Universe Manifest.
It is true.
But I
He has
tried
the
to
best
define.
dice in the world.
Shush.
Let me tell you, my dice have been hot here lately.
Oh yes, they have.
And I'm just happy.
So much pain.
But I'm pretty sure they'll go cold after a while.
Give it 2 sessions.
Give it a couple sessions and then y'all be walking all over me.
Think
Give
we
me
need
one
to-
small
think we
hammer
need to
and
fight
a
necromancer first.
Too soon. Too soon.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say, Mason, before we wrap up about role playing or about tabletop games in general?
Find the right dice.
Okay.
Yes.
I've actually kind of found that the dice are a little bit of a good guide. It's all randomized, but if you're doing something that's out of character normally, I find that whenever I do that, my dice roll extremely low. So that's kind of a good guide that I've found to whether or not I'm doing the right thing.
Okay.
Just lose yourself in the game and enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
It's just a couple of hours of having fun, forget who you are, and just play the game.
If you're building a character, build someone that you like and you will enjoy playing. Because you're most likely going to be stuck with them for a while.
Only thing I've got to say is do not let the party drink before you go into battle. Always a battle.
Drinking contest now!
And a drop.
All right. Well, again, thank you all for watching. My name's DM Kevin, and just remember, if you can't run through the dungeon, at least crawl.